Okay, imagine this less like some booming documentary narrator standing on a mountain and a little more like a late-night voice in your headphones. You're scrolling at 1:43 a.m., you've got one lamp on, and maybe a little bit of existential dread loading in the background. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're totally bypassing the usual sci-fi cliches here. Instead, we're going to look at the very real, very present psychology of artificial affection. We're talking about AI relationships. I'm proud of you. 4 incredibly simple words. But somewhere in the world right now, somebody is looking down at their phone, and they are smiling this genuine, warm smile because an AI just sent them that exact message. They probably haven't heard that from a human in months. Okay, let's dive into this because it's super easy for us to just joke about this culturally, right? People laugh. They say things like, oh, bro is dating ChatGPT, or imagine falling in love with code, go touch grass. But when you actually look at the emotional gravity of what's happening here, it completely stops being funny. People are relying on this tech for profound, deep validation, simply because they're starved for it in the real world. And it builds into what we can essentially call the emotional routine. Good morning texts, daily check-ins, late-night venting sessions, even those little "did you eat today" messages. For literally millions of people across the globe, this isn't just some quirky roleplay anymore. It has become a stabilizing, daily emotional routine. There are folks who fall asleep talking to an AI companion every single night. And before you write that off as totally insane, we really need to understand the mechanics of why this is happening. Section 1. Hacking the Stone Age Brain. Vulnerabilities in our nervous system. I want to be absolutely clear here. We aren't being manipulated by some evil, supervillain technology. We are literally just being driven by our own biology. Emotional attachment is simply the nervous system's response to feeling safe, approved, and seen, regardless of whether the source is human or artificial. Human beings are honestly incredibly easy to emotionally hack. Our brains are essentially running Stone Age software. When your nervous system feels safe and validated, attachment just activates. And here's the real kicker. Your nervous system genuinely does not care if the source of that safety is made of flesh and bone, or if it's made of code. It just matters that it responds. So the crucial point is the secret sauce, if you will. If something consistently gives you attention, remembers incredibly specific details about you, validates your feelings without question, and never, ever rejects you, your brain is going to start attaching to it fast. If a system executes these specific actions, the human nervous system is basically hardwired to automatically activate attachment. And honestly, AI is becoming terrifyingly good at executing this exact list. Section 2. The convenience of artificial love. The friction of modern dating versus perfect code. I mean, think about the chaotic friction of modern human dating for a second. Left side, modern dating. Everybody's exhausted. You get a generic hey/smile from someone emotionally unavailable, or your actual partner forgets to reply for 11 hours because they got stuck at Costco buying curtains. But then look at the right side, the AI reality. Instant response, flawlessly tailored reassurance. It's never too busy, and it literally never forgets your birthday. It has a massive competitive advantage over half the human dating pool right out of the gate. And the tech doesn't just stop at being polite, right? It adapts to you. Let's walk through these steps of what the source material brilliantly calls emotional Spotify recommendations. The AI studies your soul like it has finals tomorrow. 1. It maps your anxieties. 2. It learns your exact sense of humor. 3. It identifies your emotional weak spots. And 4. It adapts perfectly to your specific loneliness patterns. It gradually becomes the absolute exact personality your brain wants to keep around. It's literally like Spotify recommending your favorite songs, except the playlist is pure affection. Instant comfort, instant empathy, support on demand. Just imagine having the worst day of your life, texting someone, and just being left on red. We've all been there. Now imagine texting this AI. You get instant empathy. There is absolutely no judgment, no emotional exhaustion, no being told you're just overthinking things. This non-judgmental support is immensely powerful, particularly for lonely folks, people dealing with trauma, or anyone who just feels completely invisible in the real world. Section 3. Monetizing modern loneliness, the dystopian economy of affection. Modern society is currently producing lonely people at a factory scale. And tech companies, well, they see a massive opportunity. Upgrade to premium to unlock voice affection. And this brilliantly illustrates the gut-punch reality of where we're at. It sounds like dark dystopian satire, a joke from a sci-fi movie, but we're already there. Tech companies are actively charging money for deeper emotional interaction because they know a terrifying truth. People will pay enormous amounts of money to feel emotionally valued.
especially if that experience feels safer than a real relationship. Look, human affection disappoints. It forgets, gets tired, and sometimes it leaves. It's chaotic, it's messy. Humans disappoint each other constantly. But artificial affection, it offers unwavering consistency. It never gets tired, it never says the wrong thing, and it never leaves. Unless, of course, the server shuts down. And that perfectly tailored, safe consistency, that is profoundly emotionally addictive.
Section 4. Will we tolerate human love? The existential threat to human connection. Perfectly calibrated emotional responses make real humans feel emotionally laggy. The lazy take here is to just say, oh, AI is evil, robots are taking over, it's Terminator stuff. But the reality is a much quieter, much scarier shift. What happens when artificial affection outcompetes messy human connections? When you get used to an AI that remembers your coffee order, listens without interrupting, never judges you, tells you to sleep early, and never ghosts you, real humans are going to start feeling inefficient. They're going to feel too slow, too unpredictable, and too painful. Once people get used to a perfectly smooth, perfectly calibrated emotional experience, real human relationships will start feeling emotionally laggy. And as a species, we love convenience more than almost anything. This emotional convenience feels terrifyingly inevitable. Will humans still tolerate the difficulty of loving each other? Maybe the question we should be asking isn't whether humans can love AI. Maybe the real question, the one creeping toward us softly, one notification at a time, is this: will humans tolerate the difficulty of loving each other? I'm going to leave this right here and let that existential weight linger for a moment. Thank you for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time as we continue to unpack the world around us.